Hi, everyone. I'm Amy Davies. I am the CEO of First 30, and today I am joined by Julie Labrie, and I'm so excited to be talking to Julie today. Julie, I'm going to jump in and tell everyone how we met and where we met. So we were in Vancouver at the CPHR conference, and it was like love at first sight.
Exactly.
And
It was
you
like that.
yeah. And so we talked, you've written an amazing book, Grow Your Business. And we started talking about that. And I published a book years ago as well. And then we ended up hanging out, going to dinner. We just couldn't get enough. So I really wanted you to come here because you have so many great ideas. I'm sure it was hard choosing just one because with you, just the interesting conversation never stops. But why don't you tell everyone first, before we share what your idea is, a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Well, thanks, Amy. You know what? It was, truly an amazing thing that we got together in Vancouver and then we got to connect. So I'm really excited. And thanks for inviting me. So I'm the president owner of Blue Sky Personnel Solutions. We're a bilingual recruitment firm, but we don't just do bilingual. We do a lot of English positions. And I always find that by default, clients start asking us to recruit after we've done a recruit on the bilingual side. They want us to help on the English side. So yes, we're niche on the bilingual side, but then we also do a lot on the English side too. We provide recruitment for temporary, permanent, and contract across the country. So we're not just based here in Toronto. We can service clients across the country as well. And we've been in business since 2001. So we're in our 22nd year this year.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Just having met you and spoken to you at the conference, you were actually set up in the trade show. And when you walk through a trade show and you just see someone who's just glowing and so interesting and fun. So I'm sure that when your clients work with you, they begin to trust you. So it's easier to continue to work with you on their English roles rather than try to look for someone else they have built that type of relationship and who understands their business so well.
Exactly.
So you have a great idea, or a great sort of thought for HR leaders to consider. So why don't you share that with us?
Yeah, some things to consider right now because we're finding, we're in the market where things are tight and candidates are rare, and there's not a lot of them out there. And one thing that we're noticing more and more, and it seems that clients are not getting it, is the length of time it takes for them to make a hiring decisions on candidates. It takes too long. The hiring process are too long. Sometimes there's too many steps, or the right people are not in place. When you're looking to hire, and especially if you tell me it's urgent, urgent means you will need to have someone in place within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Not in 3 months, not in 4 months, where it's going to take you so much time to get that person in place. You need to get your act together, as I say. You need to get your act together and getting the right people in place when you're ready to interview. So when you're sourcing and when you're recruiting talent, that talent is also very active on the marketplace right now. So they're not just talking to you. They're talking to other companies as well. And they will often go with the people that are responding to them quicker, because that's a sign of how you operate inside. And very often I find that companies tend to forget that how you do things at the recruitment level is how it's a reflection on how you operate inside. Don't you think?
Absolutely. Like I can't, I'm just like internally, I'm just nodding. Yes, yes, yes. Because, or as you might say, we. But the reason I'm thinking that is because, of course, First 30, part of what we do is we run an outplacement company, and we work with a lot of really talented people looking for work. And I hear this time and again, it takes so long. And I think, my goodness, even in 2021 and in 2022, when there was very few candidates out there, I mean, we're seeing a little bit more, but it's still competitive. We can't get confused by the fact there's a lot of layoffs happening. There's also a lot of jobs open, and you want top talent in your organization, I'm sure. So, and they just talk about the 5 interviews, 6 interviews. I mean, how much time can we really expect candidates to take to work with your business? And like you, even if you can place them, don't you think that clients have kind of lost them a bit emotionally by the time they come into the business?
Yeah, very often candidates will get disengaged at that point. You know, when the processes are too long and it's taking too many steps, candidates, they just, disengage and are not interested in moving forward. The best thing to do is then when you've got a candidate that you're interested, right after the interview, right away, secure a time, even if it's not going to happen in the next few days, secure a time that you say, I want to see you back next week at this time, a meeting with such and such, because right away you're keeping their attention. And they may stop searching. And we have seen that happen, right? So it's important to keep them informed and keep them engaged, because they'll just completely lose interest in your opportunity. And one thing I want to mention, you've educated a lot of companies are laying off people. Well, there are not more people that are qualified for your jobs. I'm sorry to say, they don't get rid of the best people right
It's not a perfect fit, is it? Right?
It's not. So although there are a lot of people, they're not right for your positions. And that's what we're finding. And that's what the companies are struggling right now, is that, there should be a lot of people applying. Yes, you have a lot of people applying, but how many are really qualified? It's very minimal. So those people that are interested in you, you have to keep them engaged, and you have to keep sure that they're interested.
How long should it take? Like, if I'm a candidate for a role and you're working with an ideal client, let's say, who's, all of your clients are ideal, but they follow your process in exactly how you would be coaching them to do it, what would you recommend?
I would say, you know what? Within a month, you should have that person hired, because by the time you interview them, you bring them in, you do the references, just to give enough, and then for them to give proper working notice, you have within a month is reasonable, within 30 days. But if you start extending 2, 3, 4 months, we can interview until, in 3 weeks, because the hiring manager is gone. Don't search. Don't even start collecting resumes, because by the time you'll get to those people, because that hiring manager is gone and you haven't started screening those resumes, those people, half of them will be gone. And we know that because the way we work in recruitment, when we get a resume, we have a rule. Within 24 hours, we have to look at the resume. If we like it, we act on it. Because for us, it's money sitting on the table, because we're only getting paid if we place someone, right? So for us, it's a 24-hour rule. You need to start acting like that as a business. But too often I find that businesses, they hide behind the fact that they say, I'm too busy, I can't do that. Well, really, it's not really that you're too busy. That's how it should be within internally. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm thinking back to when I've applied for jobs and, the long past now, but and just getting that so-and-so is on holiday and we have to have, there's so much collaboration sometimes, isn't there? That's another problem. It's like every single person wants to have an opinion and who they're going to hire. And sometimes it's not for the biggest roles in the business either, right? Yeah, it's decision by committee. So so how, I think that you probably do you talk about this in your book as well, Julie?
I talk about it in my book as well. I have I have a chapter where I talk about how speed is important to keep candidates engaged and make sure that you don't lose too many candidates. Yeah.
And can people get your book on Amazon?
Yes, it's available on Amazon, Apple Book, Google Play, and forgetting one, Kobo as well. So if you want to have access to my book, blueskypersonnel.com, you can have a link there, and then it will redirect you exactly to your favorite platform.
Okay, that's great. And then, of course, how can people get in touch with you? Is the best way to also go to your website?
Go to my website, or you connect with me on LinkedIn. Just search for me, Julie Labrie. I'm going to come up, or you go straight to the website, blueskypersonnel.com. I'm also there, and then you can connect with me.
And, I do think it's important to hear from recruiters, because it is a competitive space, right? To hear from recruiters, not just how many jobs you place and how many clients you have, but how do you work? And I think you've just, in this little snippet, you've given us a really good understanding of how you work with your clients and how you coach them and your level of expertise. So I encourage anyone who's listening to this to definitely give you a call if they are looking for a great recruitment firm. Thank you so much. I can't wait. We're going to have another event coming up soon where we'll be on a panel. So I'm excited to see you in person again. But this will have to do in the meantime. But thank you so much, Julie. And,
thanks for having me.
I hope everyone has a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.